The movie begins with a wizard named Merlin telling the story of King Arthur after King Pendragon died. Britain went to war, with people fighting for power, and there was no peace. Merlin then made Excalibur, a sword to find the person who deserved to be King Arthur, who was later revealed to be the lost son of the king. He pulled the sword from the stone and became a great king. But this didn't make his evil half-sister Morgana happy, because she wanted the power for herself. She used black magic because of her ambition, but Arthur and his knights defeated Morgana and sent her to hell. Before being taken to hell, she promised to return for the sword when the world was at its worst. Hey, the movie I'm going to summarize today is called The Kid Who Would Be King. So grab some popcorn, sit in a comfortable place, subscribe to the channel, and come with me. In present day, Alexander, a 12-year-old boy, is late for school, which makes his mother scold him. On the way to school, he receives a message from his friend Bedders, who is being bullied at school by Lance and Kay. When Alex finds out about this, he runs to save his friend and tells the two bullies to leave Bedders alone. Lance tries to intimidate Alex and tells him to stop playing the hero before walking away, but as he walks away, Alex jumps on him and hits him several times in front of the other children. The next day, the two bullies go after Alex to finish the fight from the previous day. Scared, Alex runs away, trying to escape them, but his escape leads him to a construction site where he is soon cornered by the bullies. As they approach Alex, he backs away in fear until he falls and faints. The sight of Alex unconscious scares the two bullies, and they run away. Soon after they leave, Alex wakes up and sees a sword stuck in a stone. As he explores the place, he manages to pull it out and takes it with him. Meanwhile, Morgana woke up in hell and, sensing that the sword had been pulled by the new king, uses her black magic to send vines to discover who now has the sword. On the way home, Alex calls Bedders to show him the sword. After deciphering what's written on the sword, they realize it's Excalibur, King Arthur's sword. But they don't take it seriously, and instead, Alex takes the sword and plays around by naming Bedders a knight. Meanwhile, Merlin, who now looks like a young boy, senses that the sword has been found and goes out into the city looking for who has it. He ends up finding his way to Alex's school, where he pretends to be a student to get close to Alex. Meanwhile, he hears from a teacher that an eclipse will happen in 4 days, which panics him. Later, he invades the cafeteria to tell Alex that he knows he pulled Excalibur and that Morgana will return when the eclipse happens. But this only makes other children in the cafeteria make fun of him and throw things at him. Later that night, Morgana sends a demon to kill Alex. Seeing the demon, Alex runs to find his mother, but she's nowhere to be found. Seeing no other option, he runs to get Excalibur and tries to fight the demon, but the demon throws the sword away in seconds. When the demon is about to attack the new king, Merlin uses his power to destroy it. After that, Merlin leaves quickly in his owl form because it's dangerous for him to stay in the realm of mortals after sunset. Before leaving, he hands Alex a flyer for a fried chicken restaurant and tells him to meet him there the next day. The next day, Alex and Bedders go to the restaurant to meet Merlin. There, Merlin explains to the boys how Morgana wants to return and enslave everyone. Moreover, he tells them that Morgana's demon will appear to steal the sword after sunset, and that during this time all mortal souls, except Alex and his knights, will disappear. Young Alex is terrified to hear all this, and tells the wizard that he's just a 12-year-old boy and can't take on the duty of saving everyone. When the boys try to leave, Merlin transforms into his older form and shows them a vision of what would happen to Britain if Morgana managed to get the sword. Because of this, Alex finally understands that he is the chosen one and that the world needs to be saved. After that, the boys return to the construction site where Alex found the sword. Surprisingly, Lance and Kay also show up there and start making fun of Alex, demanding the sword. In response, Alex puts the sword back in the stone and tells the two bullies that if they can't pull it out, they should let him name them knights. The two bullies agree, thinking it's just a joke and that, in the end, they'll be the ones to win the bet. To their surprise, neither of them can pull out the sword. Alex makes them bow and then makes them knights. At that moment, one of Morgana's demons emerges from the ground and attacks the group. Lance grabs Excalibur and tries to protect himself, but the demon is stronger than him. Alex goes to help him, and they run to escape the creature. They notice that there's no one on the streets, which confuses Lance and Kay. Soon, they see 3 more demons coming after them, so they borrow a car to escape, even though Kay doesn't know how to drive. She takes the wheel and manages to hit and kill the demons. When the demons die, people start to reappear, causing a traffic jam and almost causing an accident. After that, they go to Lance's house, where Alex tells the whole story to the 2 bullies. He says he wants to find his father in Tintagel to learn more about the entrance to the underworld and how to defeat Morgana. Alex tries to convince the 2 to join him. They leave a note for Alex's mother and take a bus to Tintagel. On the way, Merlin appears out of nowhere and takes them to a forest to teach them how to fight using his magic on some trees. But Morgana takes control of the trees, and they attack the children as they fight. Lance takes the opportunity to take Excalibur for himself, but the demonic roots begin to pull everyone, including him, into the ground. Hearing the children's screams for help, Merlin appears and uses his magic to push away the roots. But this leaves Merlin without energy, who flees in owl form after reminding Alex of his mission. When Alex sees that Lance doesn't regret what he did, he gets angry and accuses Lance of ruining everything and being a fool. They fight in a lake, and Lance breaks Excalibur, while Lance and Kay leave. After apologizing for what happened with the broken sword, Alex remembers what was written about the Lady of the Lake in the book. With a little faith, he asks the Lady of the Lake to return the sword if she really exists. To his surprise, this works, and a hand comes out of the lake holding a repaired Excalibur. This makes them happy, and they promise to unite as one and never lie. At nightfall, Morgana's demons appear to attack our heroes. The demons begin to chase them until they reach the edge of a cliff. With no other way out, Alex jumps off the cliff, and his friends hesitate to follow him. As the demons jump, we see that Alex and the children are hiding just below the cliff, revealing that they hadn't jumped into the sea. But the demons don't realize the trick and jump into the sea. Alex goes alone to Tintagel to look for his father. There he meets his aunt, who tells him the truth about his father. He wasn't the hero his mother had talked about. He didn't care about his family because he was addicted to drinking. She also tells him that it was his mother who gave him the book. This upsets him, and he returns to Bedders, feeling discouraged. Bedders tries to cheer him up using a magic trick he learned from Merlin and convinces him that he's not a failure just because his father wasn't a great man. Lance, Kay, and Merlin also arrive soon after to give Alex encouragement. After that, they ride their horses until they reach the entrance to the underworld. As they descend, they are attacked by Morgana's vines, which soon trap Alex's knights, while his friends are caught in the vines. Alex finally comes face to face with Morgana, who tries to seduce him, saying that the world is a terrible place and that the legends he believes in are false. But this doesn't affect him, and she transforms into a winged monster and begins to attack him with fire from her mouth. Soon after, he tricks her by offering Excalibur to her, and when Morgana comes to take the sword, he stabs her. As soon as this happens, the building begins to collapse, making the children flee before getting trapped. Thinking he has fulfilled his mission of killing Morgana, Alex throws the sword to the Lady of the Lake and returns home with his friends. Merlin says that Morgana didn't die and said that she will appear that night. Preparations for the battle begin soon, with Alex naming all of them as knights, and Merlin and Bedders making armor and weapons for the children to use. After that, they start making traps and other means to fight against the demons. Alex and his friends also teach the other children how to fight. Meanwhile, Merlin advises Alex that he must trap Morgana and kill her, while he uses his magic to open a portal to send her back to the underworld, ensuring that she will never return. Soon after, the eclipse begins, followed by Morgana's demons coming out of the ground. Some of the demons are killed by cars driven by Kay and the other children, but there are too many demons to be stopped. When the demons enter the school, they are surprised by the students who are waiting for them with their traps. As the students fight against the demons, the whole school becomes chaotic. But Alex soon realizes that there are too many demons to be stopped, so he tells all the children to go to the roof. Meanwhile, Morgana arrives in her demonic form and begins to attack the children with fire. Alex and the other children manage to tie her up with ropes while Merlin approaches her in his owl form. Morgana spits fire at him, hurting him. Seeing this, Alex runs to check on Merlin while the other children hold the ropes that are tying Morgana. He then gives the magic potion of melted nuggets, Coca-Cola, and ice cream to revive him. Soon after, Merlin, who became stronger because of the potion, uses his power to open the portal. After that, Alex manages to jump on top of Morgana and finally hits her with Excalibur, cutting her head from her body. She is then dragged into the underworld in seconds, while the other demons disappear when the sun and other people return. Everything finally returns to normal, and Merlin says goodbye to Alex and the other 3 children. They ask if everything will be all right, as the world remains the same. In response, he reminds them that not every fight needs to be against demons, and that they don't need Excalibur for every battle. This teaches the children that they are the only ones capable of changing this chaotic world. The movie ends with the Lady of the Lake taking Excalibur to the bottom of the water. Hey, activate the bell to be notified of new summaries, and don't forget to leave a like to support our channel to grow. And comment on which genre you want to see summarized here on the channel.